little bit because uh, it's always a little different. This time I have my um, like my little shade filter or whatever on so that we don't get out, all glared. Should be a pretty decent shot. I might have to focus it a little bit. But we're going to read about the moon in the book of Enoch. That's what I want to do here. Let me just kind of mess with the shot a little bit. That's not too bad, I guess. Let me see here. It's just streaming from my iPhone. What is it, a 10? I forget what it's called. I think it's an iPhone 10. But let's see here. So that's all the way zoomed out. And that's, oh wow, you can really zoom in on YouTube, huh? That's too far. But sorry about the shakiness. That'll disappear once we get it kind of set. So we're going to read about the moon. Just making sure my light isn't affecting it at all. I think we should be good. Welcome, guys. So one thing before I start, something's, bothering me a little bit in a weird way. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Something's bothering me. And it's about things that I keep hearing people saying, like nonstop. And it's about space being, fake, or it's impossible to have a vacuum next to a pressure system or whatever. And all this stuff. And I'm like, let's reset. First of all, I just watched at 9:40, so whenever that was, I just watched the space station fly over. And I tried to take a little camera view of it. It flew right over the moon, so I got video of it flying right over the moon. And Starlink, for those of you who aren't familiar, SpaceX yesterday and again today, 2 days, 2 launches of Starlink. Sorry, I got to move this light. It's 2 launches of Starlink within 24 hours. And here's what's bothering me. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in a creator? And if you do, where does the creator live? Because he's not fake. He's a real, a higher power. Hey, Sezen, good to see you, man. I haven't seen you for a while. He's a higher power, okay? And he's the Most High. And there's a reason why he's called the Most High, because like we're looking up at that moon right now. He's way above that. He's at the Most High. He is the Most High. And he claims that he has a throne there. And also his son is at his right hand on his throne with him. I think you're right, Gary. Gary says Starlink will connect Neuralink to AI or whatever. I think it's something going on here. And then, like Twitter. Okay. Elon Musk is the guy that the prophets talked about in the Bible. When people say, or well, not people, I guess, but there's different ways to look at some of these prophecies, okay? And the heavens are the temple of God, okay? And I know a lot of people somehow instinctively, they have this very strong feeling that we are the temple of God. And I agree that is true. That's what Paul wrote. He said, don't you know that I can't remember exactly how he wrote it, but he said, we are the temple of God, okay? So Cliff says, what's Starlink got to do with higher power God? Well, I'm kind of talking about the space station, and I'm talking about just the idea of space. And when so many people just say space is fake, it's impossible, and then they like, you guys got to do better because you're failing at seeing the truth. And I'm not trying to rebuke anyone or anything. I'm just saying what I'm seeing happen because I watched the sky. I just watched the space station fly over at 9:40. Okay, 2 Starlink launches. There's a good chance that me just sitting here tonight reading the Book of Enoch, well, probably not because I'll be looking at the book, but that I would see Starlink flying over because they just launched like 100 and something of Starlink in the last 2 days. Okay, so when I say, do you believe in God? There's a reason why. Because the God of the Bible, I don't know how, I should count sometime, but I don't know how many times in the Bible it says, he claims that the heavens is his. The heavens are his. That's his domain, his temple, his sanctuary, his tabernacle, his holy city, holy mountain, the sides of the north. Okay, that is a place. It's not imaginary. New Jerusalem, where does it come down from? It comes down from heaven, out of heaven from God. So what I'm trying to say is, in the Bible, okay, we can think space is fake or that it's, that it's impossible for it to exist or whatever. But I want you to take and look up at the sky once. Don't spend your time only in your mind thinking, oh, you can't have gas pressure next to a vacuum or that type of thinking. I understand that. I agree with it. But it's bigger than that, guys. This is not a physical thing that some dudes at NASA are hiding from you or from us, from the world. Okay? This is of another kind of nature of a battle. So, like, when it says about the son of perdition or whatever, that he'll stand in the temple of God showing himself that he's God. Where is that? I would be dishonest if I said it was only one place. I would have to say it's 2 places that could be. That could be, looks like we're wandering a little bit. That could be the temple of God in heaven, or that could be the temple of God within mankind. Because there's in a sense, there's 2 temples, but we know that God has a throne and a temple up in heaven, and it's New Jerusalem, and then he comes down with New Jerusalem, okay, or however that works. What I'm saying, let me grab that remote here. Wow, I can't see anything. Whoa, I gotta change that speed. What I'm saying is that when they're launching all these satellites, I would just say this: it's very irresponsible and damaging to yourself to make these kinds of intellectual ideas about, like the second law of thermodynamics, or, oh no, I have a flashlight battery that my phone's plugged into. I just tipped it over, sorry. Yes, Gary, Lucifer wanted to ascend above the stars in the north. Yes, exactly. Hello, awakening soldier. So here's what I'm trying to say. Gary, I think you're seeing it. John, okay, in the end of days, okay, this is in the book of Enoch, it's in the book of Daniel, it's in the book of Revelation. There's a specific thing that happens to the holy city, to New Jerusalem. And it says that the Gentiles, or it says in the book of Enoch that the fallen angels, that they tread that city underfoot for 42 months. Or they tread it underfoot. In the book of Enoch, it says they will go up and let's see here. I'm trying to remember it. I have the book right here, but I have the, let me set the remote back down, wherever that goes. There's a thing that hey, Michael Kahn, good to see you, bro. there's a thing happening that I want you guys to, I don't care if you like agree with me. That's not what it's about. There's something happening that I want you to understand is happening. And Gary Wybenga already brought up some of it in the chat there. I didn't catch all the comments, but I saw the dragon. Okay, you guys, there is a dragon, a SpaceX dragon, a vehicle, a metal vehicle flying up. I just watched it fly over my house, okay? And that was a real thing that I watched fly over my house. Whatever it is, we can speculate. But what I'm saying is that there's a dragon flying over my house at 9:40 tonight. And I watched it on the space station, okay? That's the world we live in. Whether you think it's fake or not, doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, if it's fake, then it's not up in the sky. If it's fake, then that's an airplane. But it's too fast to be an airplane. And I watch it from Minnesota, and the next person in Wisconsin watches it at the same time. And it constantly does this. It's not like they can put an airplane up there and switch airplanes or something. There's nothing like that happening. And here's something that's very important. It says in the prophecies it's in Revelation 11, and it's in Enoch 56, and I'm going to try to find that. Enoch 56, and it's in Daniel 7, where this let's see here. What's his name in Daniel 7? I guess he's the mouth that speaks great things or whatever. He prevails against the saints, you guys. And this, I think, is what's happening. Don't just assume that men are hiding this truth, because they're not. They never were. Things up in the sky were hiding this truth. Not the moon, but the planets. Okay, let me see if I can find this. Okay, ready? Oh, that's the wrong chapter. That's like 62. Oh, that's annoying. The little light that I have is flickering. It's just like some chintzy little lamp thing that I got at, I don't know, Menards. Okay, here, look what it says in here. Dwayne, welcome. Yeah, I'm going to actually, hey, Coffee House, good to see you. I'm actually going to live stream, if the weather is okay tomorrow or whatever, when the eclipse is going on. I'm going to live stream it. That's why I'm doing this right now, to kind of practice. Let me give you a little bit different view for fun. Actually, we'll go in a little bit. There's Tycho right there on the right. Do you guys see the snow angel in the middle? I just saw that, the snow angel. Okay, listen to this. And in those days, this is in the book of Enoch, chapter 56. So listen to what it says. In those days, the angels shall return and hurl themselves to the east upon the Parthians and the Medes. Okay, that's not the verse I was looking for. Okay, verse 6. And they shall go up and tread underfoot the land of his elect ones. Where's that? Where's New Jerusalem? Because that's the land of his elect ones. Where is that? That's up in the sky, right? I think everyone here would agree. New Jerusalem is up in the sky. That's the heavenly city. That's the heavenly temple, the holy city, the sanctuary, God's tabernacle, his temple in heaven, okay? So it's there. And what I'm getting at is that we're not paying attention to what the scriptures are saying in the prophecy. They're saying that those, right here it says that the angels, and in the Revelation, it's the dragon. What I'm trying to say is that the dragon is an angel. However we decide to try to understand that, I'm not saying that we can understand that. I don't know. I don't understand it. What I'm saying is that John was given a vision, and he wrote down what was in the vision. And what he wrote down, the words that he wrote down, match with today. They match with the dragon, and they match with these things flying up to the sky. In Daniel 8, verse 10, he says, and it waxed, he's talking about this thing he was watching, It waxed great even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground and stamped upon them. It's talking about something going from the ground up to the stars. And what I'm trying to say is that there is only one thing that's doing that, and that is the beast system. Okay? That is the beasts that Daniel saw. First, he saw a shuttle or something. He saw it had wings, and then the wings were plucked from it, and it was stood up, and it had a heart like a man, and it was lifted up from the earth. That's just one of the beasts, the first beast that he saw. So what I'm trying to say is that we can understand this, and what I'm saying is the prophets in the scriptures were shown visions of men getting in these metal things and flying up to the stars. Look what it says right after that in verse 7. Or I mean, this is still in verse 6, I guess. And the land of his elect ones shall be before them, before the angels, a threshing floor and a highway. So that land of New Jerusalem, oops, sorry, this light is flickering, it's bugging the crap out of me. Sorry, guys. That's actually a pretty good view of that part of the moon, isn't it? It's pretty clear. I'm just going to leave it there for a while. Mayamizi! Wow! I have not seen you for a while. It's good to see you. That's awesome. So, are you guys ready for me to read some Book of Enoch? What I'm trying to say is that NASA isn't faking space. I used to think that, but I've learned that this is much different than that. There are no people that have some secrets that are kept, like people talk about the Freemasons and whatever. No. I mean, I'm sure there's bad Freemasons, whatever. What I'm saying is that this truth that came into our world like 7 years ago, everywhere in our world, and it's still being debated nonstop. I just watched a debate on Modern Day Debate today, a flat earth debate, or I listened to it. And that was tough. It was Craig from Fight the Flat Earth. What I'm saying is that this is an ongoing debate, or whatever you want to call it, but I would say it's not a debate, it's a realization. It's a realization of truth from God, not from us, not from any men. So in the same way that I'm saying that we don't have a group of people lying to another group of people, we have a group of people believing a lie and a group of people coming out of that same lie. The whole world was under that lie, believed that lie. I'm gonna grab the remote and we'll cruise around the moon a little bit, just because it looks like a pretty clear shot, and I'm not too unhappy about that. Oh no, this is Tycho. I'm sorry, I said Tycho. I was not on Tycho. That's Tycho right there. So, when people are talking about Jerusalem, you know, I don't care what you believe. I really don't. I mean, I'm not trying to change what you believe. I'm just trying to share, you know, information that has made me think of everything in a different way. Okay. Dragon, that Gary Y. Banga already brought up the dragon. Okay. In Daniel's vision, that little horn, Daniel said it looked like a horn, guys. That horn, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm having fun zooming around. That horn that horn in Daniel's vision, it said that was the kings of the earth. Those horns, those were the kings of the earth. So they weren't men. Daniel would have just said they were men. But anyway, like, I'm all over the place here tonight. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you something very interesting right at the beginning of the Book of Enoch. We're going to read, well, that's what's so interesting about the Book of Enoch too. It says it's for that last generation of people that this book is written for them. In the very first verse here. Isn't that crazy? I will read it. I think we are in the day of tribulation. I think COVID is part of it, and all these probably Ukraine and Russia and all this stuff happening. And like, think of what Elon Musk, what kind of power he has these days. Giving Starlink internet to Ukraine so that they can still use their, military to the full extent. What I'm saying is, without Elon Musk, Ukraine wouldn't have the capability that they have to even run their military. Russia's, that was the first thing that Russia was working on, was jamming all their stuff. But so there's, I think it was, I heard a number, 150,000 people in Ukraine were using Starlink. They were linking to Starlink. Okay, it's time to stop saying that space is being faked. Okay, you don't have to believe in like the solar system like they do, but there's something up there. They easily put things up there routinely now, and it's not something to deny, and it's not something to think another man is lying to you about, because that's not what's happening. What did Paul say, actually? Paul did say that we're not struggling against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities and the rulers of the darkness of this world. The darkness of this world. That is the night sky. The darkness, right? Wouldn't you agree? Darkness. Listen to this verse, though. The words of the blessing of Enoch, wherewith he blessed the elect and righteous, who will be living in the day of tribulation, when all the wicked and godless are to be removed. And he took up his parable and said, Enoch, a righteous man, whose eyes were opened by God, saw a vision of the Holy One in the heavens, which the angel showed me. And from them I heard everything, and from them I understood as I saw. But not for this generation, but for a remote one, for which is to come. Concerning the elect, I said, so he starts talking, but I wanted to skip right to chapter 2, I think, whatever chapter it is, because we're doing exactly what Enoch says right now. You're gonna like this, okay? This is chapter 2, verse 1. Observe ye everything that takes place in the heaven, how they do not change their orbits. Sorry if I'm bumping the cord, and it's touchy. How they do not change their orbits, and the luminaries which are in the heaven, how they all rise and set in order, each in its season, and transgress not against their appointed order. So there is a commandment and a law for all the lights in the sky. And it's amazing that right now, my telescope, I have an equatorial setup going right now. So what I'm just using their terminology, but what's happening right now is I have the axis of my telescope base pointed at the North Star, pointed at Polaris, and I only have one motor running the telescope. So the telescope isn't going up and down, over and down, like that. It's actually only doing a circle. The base of the telescope is doing a perfect circle, okay? Because it's just turning is all it's doing. And I point it at anything I want in the sky, especially the stars. Like if I point at the stars, what it'll do is it will, with one motor, it will follow whatever object you put in the sky. And we're doing it with the moon right now. If I turn the motor off, the moon would go by in maybe, 20 seconds. It would be past the screen. You wouldn't see it anymore. So that's, my telescope needs motors because the moon is in motion. It's moving to the right. So, but the cool thing is that the whole sky, there's a center axis. Where I'm at in Minnesota, you look north, and there's an axis of rotation, and you can point the axis of your telescope base, like the part, and it'll just turn in a circle. And so that's what it's doing right now. It's just turning in a circle, and I pointed it at the moon, and it's just staying there. So it's pretty. That's the sky. The sky is almost an impossible thing. It's like a miracle happening. But here, back to Book of Enoch, chapter 2. Okay. Behold ye the earth, and give heed to the things which take place upon it from first to last, how steadfast they are. How none of the things upon earth change, but all the works of God appear to you. Behold the summer and winter, how the whole world is filled with water and clouds, and dew and rain lie upon it. Okay, then he talks about trees. But what I wanted to do is I want to just share some what I consider to be vital information about space, about what they're doing in space, okay? And here's the thing. The people at NASA, I will compare them to your kindergarten teacher, okay? Your kindergarten teacher had a globe on her desk or whatever, or I always say her because my teacher was a her, but she wasn't lying, okay? My teacher wasn't lying to me. My teacher was teaching what this world believed, okay? You believed it. I believed it. Everyone believed it. It was just the world we were in, okay? Then our eyes were, remember what it said in the book of Enoch here? It said, whose eyes were opened by God. Now, that's what I'm saying is happening. So if we consider it, sorry guys, I got to bump it again. If we consider it in a different way, and if I was to tell you that Lucifer is at the end of his his fulfillment of what he really desires, and we were born in a generation that already was deceived, the whole world at this point. And this was prophesied. I mean, in Revelation 12, the dragon, he deceived the whole world, okay? It does not say, and I want you guys to think about this seriously. Nowhere in any scriptures that I've read does it say anything like the devil deceived the whole world except for some people that kept the secret from the world. That's not how it said it. It said he deceived the whole world. It's the same serpent that deceived Eve, okay? And we got to give, I'm not trying to give props to fallen angels, but we have to realize that they're a higher power. They can fool us very easily. Like, I didn't think this way my whole life. I didn't really understand that these kinds of things were, so real. But there's a place where Enoch goes. Back at it says, is the moon casting its own light? Yes. Whoops, I just dropped something. Yes, it is. It's the lesser of the two great lights. And I think in the book of Enoch here, we might even get to read it. I think what it says is that like the sun fills up the moon with light for, I think, 14 days, and then the light drains out of the moon, like almost like let me think of what it would be like, like a Mr. Heater or something. You fill it with your kerosene or whatever, turn it on, and it'll go for a few hours, and then it just goes out. Kind of like that, like almost like it fuels it or something, or like a glow in the dark sticker. You hold it up to the light, and then you take it away, and it glows, but it's not going to glow bright like that for very long. It'll die off. It's something similar to that. That's what I think it is. But is this a full moon? It's really close. Tomorrow's a full moon because there's an eclipse, right? I think that happens at a full moon. Let's just do this for fun. Bubbles in space. Hey, you guys, seriously, I get it. I totally get it. And I agree with you. Like, the concept of space is just dumb. Okay. If there's a place where there's nothing, this is what gets me. If there's a place where there's nothing, how's that? We'll do the switch for a while. How do you measure 10 feet in a place that doesn't have anything. You don't. So how do they know the moon is 238,000 miles away? They don't. They don't. I don't care if they went there. And speaking of, I hear a lot of people saying this. I saw a post from Matthew at Back to the Covenant. I think that's it, or Back to the Covenant channel. I think I'm going to be talking with him on, I believe, Thursday at 9 or something like that p.m. I'll probably put a link in my community page or something like that. But he's a really cool guy, and I really love his channel. But I do see things much differently in certain ways about this. And I mean, Paul was very clear. Jude, okay, there's a place of darkness. Now, we were taught that it was an outer space solar system. Well, here's another thing about belief again. Like your kindergarten teacher wasn't lying to you when she taught you where you lived on that fake ball in her classroom. Okay, she wasn't lying to you. She didn't have the intention of a lie in her heart. She was teaching you what she felt was right and what this whole world believed, okay? So NASA's doing the same thing. They have a space station up there. They send people up and down from it. They, quote unquote, went to the moon. And how do I know this? Because first of all, I mean, we were talking about New Jerusalem being tread underfoot. It's in Revelation 11, Daniel 7, I think, and or Daniel 8. Yeah, they something about his sanctuary in Daniel 8. And then the sanctuary will be cleansed after so many days, because there's a dominion that God gave us in the earth, or he made a covenant with Noah. And he said, you know, these things are for this, and these things are for that. And I'll put my rainbow in the sky, and I'm never going to do this to the earth again. So, well, first it was destroyed by water, then the next time it'll be destroyed by fire. Well, guess what, guys? I know how that fire starts. That's scary to me. It's scary to me to watch people think that rockets that they're sending up there are fake when they're actually destroying the firmament of heaven. Like the layer, they're breaking that barrier between that prison, which a lot of people disagree with this too. Darkness, outer darkness, what we're calling outer space, it is a bottomless pit. And you can ask, just the idea of a solar system is a bottomless pit. There's no bottom, and everything in it is falling. Everything in the solar system is supposedly falling. The earth is falling around the sun. The moon is falling around the earth. Or you could talk about like a gravity well or whatever. Or bending space-time. Whatever way you want to describe it. The solar system is a place where everything is orbiting around something larger, right? Everything. And it's in a state of what? It's not accelerating. It's not decelerating. It's in a state of 0G or free fall into what? Into a dark abyss. Now, I don't know how this applies like to the real world, like in the end times, you know, because Enoch 83, it says that he said he saw a dream. He had a dream where he saw the earth swallowed up in a deep abyss. The sky departed, or the heavens departed, and also he saw what did it. Like, this is something that you'd think every person who's interested in biblical cosmology would be just like on the edge of their seat when Enoch says that he saw men flying around in wagons up in the sky, and those wagons were super loud and they made the angels nervous. They shook the sky. They shook the heavens. Do you guys know what's the loudest sound men can make? Have you guys ever heard of the Saturn V? That's the loudest sound besides like a detonation. A detonation's probably higher decibel, but I don't have my computer right here, but you can Google loud sounds, and I guarantee you're going to see the shuttle, and you're going to see the Saturn V for being some of the loudest noises men have the ability to make. A rocket engine is a crazy thing, you guys. So I'm looking for something in the Book of Enoch here. So men couldn't withstand the decimal level in the Saturn V rocket. Well, they did, though. They were above it, so it was going the opposite way. See, like that, I understand there's a lot of things that seem impossible, but like I was just kind of saying at the beginning of the stream, in the real world, the ground isn't rotating, right? But in our minds, it was rotating. It was like, yeah, well, it's rotating once per day. Otherwise, how would we get daytime? Well, but that's not what's happening, though. That's not what we observe. We observe the ground still. We observe the moon, where I have to have motors in my telescope because the moon is moving and the ground is not. My telescope is set firm on the ground right now. You guys know what I'm saying. I'm saying we've been taught things wrong, and it's hard to let go of sometimes even. Let me see if I can focus this a little bit. It seems like it's out of focus. If it was out of focus this whole time, wouldn't that be awful? Ooh, that's going to be worse. 4:29 in the morning here in England. Wow, Corey. Cool. Thank you for joining. Let's zoom in a little bit. So when I see the space station fly over, and it's got a dragon attached to it, of course, tell me what I'm looking at. And I'll tell you, like, when people say it's an airplane or it's something like that, that's so easy to debunk. You just have to pay attention to I'm encouraging you people to observe what happens in the heavens, just like Enoch told us to. Because you're not. If you're thinking that all this stuff is fake or that rockets are balloons or something, you need to, and I'm not trying to have some kind of attitude or something. I'm just trying to say what I know. And I know that I can't look right now because my phone is recording on the live stream. But I do know that last night it was 10:50. The space station flew right over me. And tonight it is 9:40 and it flew over me. And it might even fly over again at what would that be? It would be, I don't know. I can't remember. Like something like 92 minutes later. 92 minutes later. Yep, Roderick, you got it. Fake moon. The moon's being faked by NASA. No, I'm just teasing. But I think, I don't know if... Here's what it says in Daniel. And you guys can take it how you want. I see the people who are shown this truth, the people who have been shown the truth, that we don't live on a dumb globe, have also been... I don't know how this happens, but they've also been made to completely deny and reject everything that they could see in the sky if they looked up at the sky. Like the things that happen up there and the things like rocket launches, anything about space, they think men are lying to them. They think other men have the power to lie to them. And in Daniel 7, it says that that horn or the mouth that speaks great things or whatever, that he would prevail against the saints until the Ancient of Days came. I don't know what that means. I really don't know. But if you think about it, I think people, this is I'm just being transparent here. Here's what I think. I think people are just going to keep thinking that space is fake until they get a big surprise when the thing that they're calling fake makes the sky depart like a scroll. Because that's what Enoch saw. That's what John saw. That's what Daniel saw. They saw vehicles or things made of metal, and they were spirits. The Testament of Solomon, they had a great pillar that was being borne through the air by demons, and the people on the world couldn't see the demons, but they could see the pillar. And then it said at the very end, it said, and when they let the pillar down, then will be the end of the world, because it's going to shake kingdoms. And people say, well, you can't break through the firmament with a rocket. Yeah, you can. That's what they've been doing. Why do you think it's so nearly unachievable? Do you get what I'm saying? I think God even talked about that in the book of Ezekiel. He said, I set it far from them. And I gave it over to the strangers for a prey, something like that, and to the wicked for a spoil, and they shall pollute my sanctuary. What does it say? They shall pollute it. For the robbers will enter into it and defile it. Something like that. And he's talking about heaven. So what I haven't been making a lot of videos lately because I really don't know what to think of all this, because people are really strongly believing and saying these things, and they don't have any evidence for it. They just believe it, like that there is no space station, or that it's a U-2 spy plane or something. No, that just means you're avoiding looking at what it is. I just watched it fly over, okay? And if you have two people, you can watch it from different states at the same time, like several different states, because it's however high it is in the air. It's high enough in the air that you can see it from a long ways away. It was flying over the middle of Wisconsin, and I could see it like, I don't know, it was not even near the horizon. And it was flying at about the middle of Wisconsin, and I'm in Minnesota. You can see it for very far. I think the distance, because the distance away from me last night, it was 300 and something miles away. And I understand all the people want to talk about you can't see something that angular size from there. You can see a point of light. So whether the science works out, who cares? Like physics of vision and things, that we don't decide what we can see in the sky. We just see what we see. If something's, what I'm trying to say is that the space station, they think it's 250 miles up or whatever. It's probably 250 miles up. That's what, if we triangulate it, that's what we're going to get. So, you can be in Missouri and I can be here in Minnesota, and we can watch it fly down the middle of the U.S. and fly right, and it'll be on the horizon. I'll be looking south, and in Missouri it'll be on the horizon. You'll be looking north. We'll both see it at the same time. You can't just default to say, oh, they're faking it. They're not faking anything. That's, to me, important. But like Daniel's vision, it said that they were prevailed against until the Ancient of Days came. So the people in the space station know the true shape of the Earth. No, they think it's a globe. They think they're orbiting a globe. Because if you think about looking at something through glass or through a lens, okay? Every lens, let me zoom out and see if we can, okay, I don't know if you can see it very well, but you can see the lens effect on my camera out towards the edge there. You can see it's darker on the corners there. See how it's a circle? Everything you see through the lens of a camera is a circle. And like in Job, I think 26, when it says that how did it say it? It was talking about like the horizon, and it said that, how did it say it? until day and night or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but it's talking about a circle that's basically like if you were to stand in a field or something that was, infinite, you would have a circle around you that would be your limit, that you could see. There would be a horizon or whatever. You know what I mean? But when they're on the space station, like we have videos from the space station, and first of all, they're using fisheye lenses to capture, more of the Earth, and that makes it look even more spherical. Okay, but going up above the atmosphere, do you realize where they're going? That's probably one of the most important things I would say. If we realize where they're going, then it's not so hard to think of all the things that are happening up there happening exactly how they should, like according to physics. Okay, on the space station, they're in 0G because they're falling around the Earth, right? So that's something that at NASA, that's very real. But what's keeping that all being that way, it's because they're going into, now, I'm not kidding here. Enoch wrote about this too. They're going into hell. They're going into, it's actually, let me remind you of Revelation 18 verse 2, I think. It says that Babylon the Great, that great city, that it's become a habitation for devils and a hold for every false spirit and a cage. It's become a prison for evil spirits. So I'm trying to say that the solar system, that's what that is. But I want to, the reason why I think we should go to Enoch chapter 10, because there's something in here. I know I was going to read about the moon, but I just haven't gotten there yet. In Enoch chapter 10, he talks about where these angels end up being. It seems like people don't pay attention to this verse. Whoops, sorry about that. So they get buried in the valleys of the earth for 70 generations. The fallen angels did. Salt Lake Light. Yeah, no kidding. So did Operation Fishbowl really happen? Yeah, why? They were just, what were they doing? High altitude nuclear tests or something? Is that what that was? I don't think it's quite just trying to blow a hole in the firmament. That's not what it is. Jesus said NASA are donkeys. Really? He said that those who try to climb up some other way are thieves and robbers. I know he said that into his sheepfold. And what's Elon Musk trying to do? He's trying to make a house or a planet for people called Mars. He's going to make it. He's going to bring a civilization there. You guys can't see that? You can't see that he's trying to be God? I just put a video up on my channel. You can go look at it. I said, it was something like, did you get the Eternal Life app yet? For, because he was doing an interview and they're working on this robot now. Tesla's going to build a robot or whatever, like a household robot. And someone asked him if, and it doesn't matter if this is possible or not. It's what he plans on doing and what he says he's going to do or what he thinks he can do. That's the thing to be aware of. Because this son of perdition in the Bible, he does all these exact same things that Elon Musk is doing. Makes fire come down from the sky. He goes into the temple of God and makes himself, sets himself a throne. You guys get what I'm saying. But so in Enoch 10, it says, it's talking about the fallen angels, and it says, when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, till the day of their judgment and of their consummation, till the judgment that is forever and ever is consummated. So there's two judgments there. So there's the 70 generation one, and then there's another one after that that's forever and ever. It says, in those days, they shall be led off to the abyss of fire. Okay, thanks, Blake. They were shooting nuclear warheads at the firmament. And who knows what they thought the firmament was? Who knows? Maybe they didn't think the firmament was there. Maybe they just thought it was space. Who knows what they thought. Let's see here. So it says, they'll be led off to the abyss of fire. And then it says, and to the torment in the prison, which they shall be confined forever. That's Babylon the Great. You guys know that. I just said that, Revelation 18, verse 2. John hears an angel saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become a habitation of devils, and a cage, or a hold for every foul spirit, and a cage for every unclean and hateful bird. So we have to realize that the angels, it says right here, it says they're going to be confined there forever. But then later on, it talks about them finding a way out. That would be cue NASA and SpaceX. The fire coming down from the sky, these landing rockets, there's something with that. There's something to that. There's something spiritual happening. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, it says, to the torment and the prison in which they shall be confined forever. So where's this abyss of fire? Where do you guys think it is? So I can tell, we're gonna learn something interesting. So it says they would be led off to the, I think you're right, Blake. Elon Musk is a fallen angel, is what Blake just said. I think he's probably he's the guy that the prophets talked about. He's the Antichrist or whoever. The son of perdition, the man of lawlessness, or the man of sin. The mouth that speaks great things. The Assyrian, probably. I don't know. Okay, so where's this abyss of fire? We can read about it. And it says he gets to this abyss of fire in chapter 18. Okay, actually, let me read 17. Okay. And they took and brought me to a place in which those who were there were like flaming fire. And when they wished, they appeared as men. Now, don't forget that. I'll just share what I am, a possibility to me is that every astronaut that works at NASA is one of these angels. It says, when they wish, they appear as men. That's what it says. And they brought me to the place of darkness. Okay, listen to this very carefully, guys. There is no place of darkness that's not the sky. Is there? Do you know of a place of darkness? You can't say the ocean because that's like water. You can't say under the dirt because there's dirt. Do you get what I'm saying? If there's something under the earth, it's also above the earth. Like if it's under the earth itself, I'm saying. If it's separate from the earth, it's outer darkness. And who knows how big that is. But the moon is in the firmament, and that's where outer darkness is. So here's where he gets to this abyss. Okay, this is still chapter 17. And they brought me to a place of darkness and to a mountain, the point of whose summit reached to heaven. Okay. And I saw the places of the luminaries and the treasuries of the stars and of the thunder and of the uttermost depths. This is up in the sky, you guys. I'm just sharing with you what Enoch is going and seeing. And I saw the places of the luminaries. So, this is where they appeared as men when they wished. They were like flaming fire, and when they wished, they appeared as men. And this is the uttermost depths. This is space, guys. where were a fiery bow and arrows and their quiver and a fiery sword and all the lightnings. And they took me to the living waters and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. I came to a river of fire in which the fire flows like water and discharges itself into the great sea towards the west. I think the great sea is the waters above. And I saw great rivers that came to the great, or I saw the great rivers and came to the great river. Oh, I'm on chapter 17 right now. Thank you, Awakening. So 17. Okay, look at verse 7. It says, I saw the mountains of the darkness of winter and the place whence all the waters of the deep flow. That's up where it's up in the firmament. The deep, the abyss, the extremity, whatever you want to call it. The underworld. It's not under the earth, it's under the heaven. It's like a heavenly realm, but that's where hell is. Our spirits like would go into hell. Not our body. Or maybe both, I don't know. But I just know that when we die, we go sick. Our body, our flesh goes 6 feet and stays in the grave for now. And our spirit might go to Sheol or to Abraham's bosom or something. So check this out. He saw, I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth and the mouth of the deep. Now, chapter 18, this is like, here again, what is the firmament? Or where is the firmament? Well, we know that there's many firmaments, right? There's 7 firmaments at least, because firmament is heaven. Hi, y'all's child, good to see you. So the firmament, that's in Genesis, he called the firmament heaven. So if you're looking up at the moon, that's in heaven. That's in the firmament. He set those 2 great lights, he set them in the firmament to give light upon the earth. And to be for times and seasons and days and years. And that's what we use them for, still to this day. So they're doing their, order. Awakening Soldier says, Sheol is under our feet, hell on earth. Well, that's not actually what I believe. Sheol is actually a place of darkness where there is no place. Like, I know maybe saying in the heart of the earth, that might sound familiar. And I don't know what that means. I don't know that it could be there too. But I do know that when we look right at the second verse in the Bible, it talks about this darkness. So it says, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So between the earth that was at that point formless and void and God, there's a place of darkness, and it's called the deep, or a deep sea abyss. The darkness upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was above that. So if you want to call it the solar system or whatever they're calling the universe or whatever, that when we look up, and it's cool because right now we're looking up, but that darkness is not it's not an ever expanding universe. It's actually a layer of heaven, the firmament, where God, I don't know too specific I don't want to say that I do know. Like I just know that he said he set them in the firmament of heaven, these lights. Nathan Thompson in the house. Yes, yeah, Nathan said those verses lead me. Oh, dang it. I missed that. Nathan, I've been thinking that same exact thing. Nathan was saying that darkness isn't just the absence of light. And I agree. Darkness is actually something. It's a medium of some sort. And if we look at what the Bible says it's dark waters. and thick clouds of the skies. Like there's a different medium up there. And right here in Enoch, chapter 18, he sees the foundations of the earth and all this stuff. And he sees the treasures of the winds. And it says that the winds of heaven turn. So just think of this, like the winds of heaven could be waters. They could be dark waters or darkness or whatever we want to call it. But it says they turn. Let's see, where is that? Verse 5, I saw the winds on the earth carrying the clouds. Oops, I'm sorry, verse 4. I saw the winds of heaven which turn and bring the circumference of the sun and all the stars to their setting. So there's some sort of medium there, as like a heavenly medium. And I think that, you know, if we were to... Now listen, there's a difference though. The place where NASA goes that they're calling space, that's not necessarily in the firmament of, like, I think it is in the firmament, but it isn't like the heavenly realm. It's hell. It's darkness. It's outer darkness. And if you think about it, what did Lucifer, like, NASA's just working for Satan, working for Lucifer. That's all they're doing. Like, there's a lot of people that like to talk about Luciferians or call out Luciferians. Well, there's only one thing a Luciferian does. What is it? Can you guys comment in the chat what you think a Luciferian does? Gary Wybenga said it right at the beginning of this stream. He said what a Luciferian does. And it's written in the Bible. It's in Isaiah 14. So what I'm saying is, if you guys put it in the chat, I would enjoy reading it. What does a Luciferian do? That is true, Nathan. I can't disagree with that. He says disobey Yah. Zigzag says they lose, but specifically, what does a Luciferian do? Because I'll just tell you, you'll know exactly what I'm saying once I say it. You'll be like, oh well, yeah, yes, Yah's child said it. Want to ascend, to exalt my throne above the stars of God, to be like the Most High, stand in the temple of God, showing himself that he's God, right? All these things, he wants to ascend into heaven. So who's the main Luciferians on the earth? That would be your space exploration, your space, the people that want to ascend. Like Elon Musk, offering eternal life with his robot and stuff. Like that. Elon Musk says that his Neuralink thing will heal the blind and deaf and make the crippled walk. Okay, these are things that only the Son of God could do. And this is an imposter, is what I'm trying to say. Blake Lee, good point. The thick darkness will be felt much more than just without light. Yeah, that's what, like, for the Egyptians or whatever, a darkness which may be felt. That's what it said. And I mean, that's really what... Oops, let's see. I'm going to mess around with our shot a little bit. And what I might have to do here, since it's been an hour, I might have to take a break and go and grab my... I'm really far from the shop. I'm actually up in the driveway of the house. So I'm going to go out and get another battery. Or just... Let's see how many... What do we got? We've got... Oh, we got plenty of battery, I guess. So the moon has 4 names. Did you guys know that? According to Enoch, has 4 names. And I don't know what they are. I think one's a Sanja and one's Ebla or something. I don't remember where that is. Let's see if we can find... Okay, we're going to read a few things that I know about the moon. Let's see. Look at this. I just turned this. This is Enoch 56, verse 8. In those days, Sheol shall open its jaws, and they shall be swallowed up therein. How are they going to get there? Man, that needs to be focused, I think. How are they going to get to Sheol, guys? people on, what, men are going to go to Sheol? Is that what it's saying? Yes. They're going to sink into it. That's probably pretty good, isn't it? Right there. Okay, let's see here. I'm just looking at the sky. I'm looking for Starlink. Because I want you guys to realize that the stuff that they're launching on these Falcon 9 rockets, it's up there. It's up in the sky. Because we can track it. We can watch these things space themselves out. They're all bunched together when they first launch. We can watch them to get spaced out as they change their orbits or whatever, with their little thrusters and all their little stuff they're doing. Thank you, Awakening Soldier, says great moonshot. We're going to zoom in a little bit just for fun. I just want to see what kind of detail we can get up here. Oh, that's too far. Let's go on a little moon tour. Okay, yeah, someone asked if the moon casts its own light. Yes. How do we know? Whoops, I hit the focus. That's not what I was trying to do. How do we know? Because look at your screen. Look how bright it is. It's definitely a light. Definitely a light. So, well, that's just the sun bouncing off of it. Doubt it. You can believe that if you want. I don't care. I don't believe that at all. I believe it's a light. It does, doesn't it, Corey? Corey says it looks like cities. Okay, let's see here. Let's go down to the other corner that we haven't been to yet. Hey, if you guys want a wicked shot, I'll go get my other eyepiece. I can zoom in 10 times as far as this. We can see some, like, I'm going to have to do that because I was going to bring it out with me, but I didn't. And I've been getting back into doing this a little bit more. Because for a while there, I just didn't really take the scope out too much. And it actually needed a little bit of tuning up. So I did a little bit of work to it. Cleaned up a couple things. But yeah, this is not really magnified very much. Whoops. I'll show you that the moon is, you'll be able to see. Whoops, I'm playing at the chat. You can see there how there's no zoom on my camera now. That's just straight up. That's what it looks like through that eyepiece. But I have one that magnifies it way more. So yeah, Blake Lee has a good comment here. Isn't hell and the lake of fire two different places? My understanding is actually right here. in Enoch, I don't remember which chapter, 67? Let me find it because oh, here it is. It's 67. It talks about the lake of fire and how it starts on fire. And it's from those angels that are bound in those waters, from them moving around up and down in those waters, that they make the waters change temperature and then they become a fire. The last verse in this chapter, it says, because these waters of judgment minister to the healing of the body of the kings and the lust of their body therefore they will not see and will not believe that those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever. So that's chapter 67 of the book of Enoch, and I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but it even talks about the convulsion of that place producing the smell of sulfur. And it says, but those waters shall in those days serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted and those who dwell on the earth for the healing of the body. What do they do on the space station? Why is it such an important thing? It's our orbiting laboratory. Why? Why is it important? Because all the medical things that they can do in 0G that they can't do here. As far as learning about things and all the weird stuff that they do. Blake says, doesn't it say, Enoch, that the angels are in charge of the sun and moon? Like, I couldn't catch that whole comment, but I think the sun and moon are kind of their own spirits. Like they're like an angel, but I guess they're the sun or moon. Like I was saying, the moon, it says in here somewhere that the moon has 4 names and the sun has 2 names, and that they're the same size and that they're discs. Isn't that weird? Let's see here. So here we go. Or no, that's not the one. I think it's 40, Enoch 45. Something keeps flying in front of the moon. Cool. I bet you it's a bat. Mud flood Armageddon. Let's see here. That is a pretty decent shot, isn't it? Wait till I get the other eyepiece. You'll really like that. Okay. Yeah, if you want to read about how the rockets end up shaking the heavens and making them depart. So I know a lot of people say that, you know, Jesus is going to peel the sky back or whatever. That's not what happens. Men destroy the earth. And then he destroys those who destroy the earth. That's what it says in Revelation. Men destroy the earth in Revelation. Jesus doesn't peel the sky back. Jesus saves us when the sky peels back, I think. That's about it, I think. I don't know. Oh, thank you, Phil. Said chapter 77 for the 4 names. Bats be skimming. Yeah, it's probably bats. Final judgment of Azazel, the Watchers, and their children. Wow. Let's see here. I'm looking for... Oh, yeah, and you guys know that Jesus is all throughout the book of Enoch. Enoch sees him several times. Calls him the elect one. The elect one. So like people that say the book of Enoch, they don't like it or whatever. Well, just know that Jesus read it and called it scripture and rebuked the Sadducees for not knowing the scriptures, and then talked about how there's no marriage after the resurrection, just like it says in Enoch chapter 15. He nearly quoted Enoch 15, and after he rebuked them for not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. It's something to think about. Let's see here. I'm terrible at Roman numerals. Plus, it's really not that light here. I can hardly see. Let's see here. Ooh, this is a kind of an interesting chapter Li. What is that, 51? I have no idea what that is. And in those days shall the earth also give back that which has been entrusted to it, and Sheol shall also give back that which it has received. And hell shall give back that which it owes. For in those days the elect one shall arise, and he shall choose the righteous and holy from among them, for the day has drawn nigh that they should be saved. And the elect one shall in those days sit on my throne, and his mouth shall pour forth all the secrets of wisdom and counsel, for the Lord of spirits hath given them to him, and hath glorified him. Jesus is teaching us that we don't live on a globe. That's really what's happening. And you know, when Jesus said, believe the gospel, when Paul said those that didn't receive the love of the truth were damned, think about that. This truth did not come from us. It came from up in that. We're looking at the moon. It came from way higher than that. There's a throne up there. It says, let's see here. That's not the right one. I think what I'm going to do is go grab that eyepiece and take a break from the book here for a second. But there was one verse I wanted to find. I'll try to find it. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm almost there. I recognize that chapter. Okay, look at it. This is, I want to say 40, I don't know. XLI. That'd be 41, I think. It says in verse 8, for the sun changes oft for a blessing or a curse, and the course of the path of the moon is light to the righteous, and darkness to the sinners in the name of the Lord. Interesting. It says, who made a separation between the light and the darkness, and divided the spirits of men, and strengthened the spirits of the righteous in the name of his righteousness. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and we're going to get a sweet eyepiece that'll bring us like way closer in than this, way closer. That's pretty close though. That's just YouTube. My camera won't zoom in that far. It really isn't that bad, is it? Okay, I gotta... Okay, what else we got going? Oh, I gotta set this book down. All right, I'll be back in about 2 minutes, probably. All right, I'm back. Yeah, this is fun. Show you what I'm doing here, how I'm doing this. Pick the... All right, here we go. I'm gonna take the eyepiece and switch it out with a different one. So let's see here. Okay. Whoa. So there, let me zoom back out. Okay. You guys can see my setup, what I got going. There's our battery down there, the flashlight. I got another camera here. And This is the eyepiece we were just using. It slips right on there. And we're switching to a different one, which is adjustable. And I might have to adjust it. So just wait till we get this thing tuned in. It'll take a second to get lined up. Then we'll have to focus it, of course. Okay, I think we're gonna go right about there. It's probably good enough. Let's see. Let me tighten it in there. Okay, let me turn this light off. Now I'll get a good shot and then we'll zoom in and you guys will be like, whoa. I mean, it does get a little grainy, I guess, but you'll see it's not as high, it's not a very high quality, whoops, I just hit the wrong button. It's not a high quality eyepiece, but it's got some magnification on it. So we're gonna have to adjust it too. Let's go right. Let's just tour around a little bit. Let me see if I can. Actually, I probably won't mess with the focus yet. There's so many things to look at. Yeah, I gotta adjust it a little bit because you can see on the screen, you can see like some spots. Yeah, see how far off it is? If we go away from the moon, that should be in the center of the screen and it should be lined up, that little dot. So we need to do some major alignment here. But we're just getting a feel for it real quick. And I don't even have the eyepiece adjusted so it's magnified much yet. So this will be fun. Okay, let me do this. Let me screw up your whole shot for you because I'm gonna take the whole thing out again and do a little adjustment to it. So I'm gonna go which way? I'm gonna go that way, I think. Okay, we'll try that. Now I should be more magnified automatically. Okay, yeah. See how I got more magnified? Now we'll have to focus again. And I gotta actually move my camera away a little bit. I just make all of my own eyepieces and stuff. Or I mean, not my eyepieces, but the mounts for everything. So sometimes I have to align them just like, I don't know what you call it. See how that blue dot or whatever, that, I don't know what you call it. That's the mirror on the telescope or something. That's a lot more lined up. So, okay, I'm gonna grab the remote and we're gonna zoom in and we'll focus. You guys will like this. So we get a decent shot. I'm not saying it's like amazing or something. I'm sure I only spent so much money on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can spend more money and get a better shot, but I don't really care that much. I just like to do what I'm doing here. I think I've got this telescope for like $600. So let's just tour around here a little bit. Yeah, see, I get, see how there's all them spots on the screen that are not on the moon? I can fix that, but it might be, yeah, I can fix that though. Whoa, hello. Now am I zoomed in on, okay, I'm zoomed in just a little bit there. Let's go in and see what we can do. I know it's grainy, but let me do something. There's always something you can do to improve your shot, so forgive me. I'm sorry about the shakiness, but I think I need to take this whole thing out again and pull it out a little bit. You'll see what I mean. We're gonna zoom in a little bit more just to get more magnified. Whoops. And then I'm gonna get this thing out a little bit. There we go, we'll try that. I don't know if it's probably gonna be way off, but, uh-oh, where'd it go? Oh yeah. See, if I move, like, I only move the camera like, whoops, where'd it go? Like a little bit. See this? Like how when it's crazy how much you just move it a little bit and it changes the whole shot. And obviously it has to be lined up better than I've got it. Sorry guys, forgive me. I gotta pull it out. Sorry guys. Okay, let's see what we got here. Gotta have it lined up good, and it's not easier for me to get it lined up good. I hot glued my phone to the piece of plastic, and then I kind of just use the same spot every time. It works good. Okay, I'm gonna say, make sure you're subscribed if you're not. I'm just trying to burn up some airtime. I'm just kidding. Okay, this is not the shot we want. There it is. There's the shot we want. See, now we're gonna be magnified in there a little bit with some detail, hopefully. The moon's in water. See that? It's in water. It is in the water. Okay. I'm just looking around for Starlink. Not on the moon, but... Whoa, terrible. That's bad. Let's focus. That's the other thing too, is like if that camera you guys saw on the ground, that Handycam, that screws right onto here too. And I can get a way better shot with that than this iPhone. Just because the iPhone is auto focusing, and like I can mess with the exposure and stuff with that Handycam. It's way better. I like looking at the edges. I don't know why. What's this in the middle here? What is that? Weird, huh? Where's that Tycho? There it is. Let's track Tycho for a while. We'll zoom in on it. And then maybe we should talk about how far they say it is across in diameter. Because what a joke. Okay, we'll get it right in the middle. Okay. Let's zoom in a little bit. That's Tycho. It's pretty grainy, isn't it? Too far zoomed in. That's just like, not a bad shot. Let's see here. If I zoom in too far, it kind of ruins the whole thing. I don't want to do that. Yeah, they're in water for sure, Blake, or under it or whatever. Or we're looking through water to see them. I mean, I'm convinced of that. There's dark waters in the firmament. Okay, sorry, truth, secret female. I'm not trying to. I'm being, what I'm going to do is let it just track for a while. Where do you want to, you tell me where we should go. Where should we go? The edge, or what do you guys think? Or should I just stop in one spot? Or maybe, how about this? We'll track Tycho kind of down in the corner there. How's that? We'll do that view for a while. Whoops. Sorry, I'm not trying to shake it. Everything makes it shake, even if I move my feet. Okay, there we go. That's a pretty decent shot. So I'm just going to leave it. Crazy, isn't it? It's weird. There's no mosquitoes out, so that's awesome. There's actually a little cloud right either under the moon or maybe even a little bit in front of it. So we'll probably see some kind of like cloud haze going by eventually. It's wandering though, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, it's wandering to the right. Sorry, I can't help myself. Yeah, that it looks like you can. There's another bat or something. Yeah, there's clouds in front of it a little bit right now. Has it been rotating to the right? See, what I do is that means that I'm not pointed directly at Polaris. It means I'm off to the left or the right or whatever. Look at the spot on the lower right. Looks like the middle of an orange. Okay, we'll go there. Or are you talking about the one right here? Let's see here. Whoa. I'm gonna actually turn the speed down for moving. Takes forever to move, but we can move really slow. Oh, that's about how slow we can move right there. That's not that bad though. Yeah, I gotta learn to do all this a lot smoother, don't I? Just because it's already shaky enough just from the telescope trying to move. My phone keeps trying to do the autofocus thing and it really kind of screws it up. No, the moon itself rotates and will look upside down later in its monthly path. Actually, it does that every night because it rises in the east and sets in the west. So if you it like if you picture what a camera has to do, if you're looking towards the east and you watch the moon go up and over your head, and then you're looking at it setting at in the west, your camera has to do quite the gymnastics there. It's starting in one direction, then it watches it fly over, and then back down. So really, it does a flip, just because your camera's actually doing a flip, too. Whoops. Sorry, it's so shaky. Actually, I'm really far zoomed in. Let me go back a little bit. I mean, we're looking at a very small portion of the moon when we're looking for a little while there. Sorry, guys. I just keep moving around. Oh, look at that. There's like a blue spot on there. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I've never seen that. Is that a blue spot? What is that? Or is it maybe that's just my telescope? I don't know. It's really bright. Okay. I'm going to set the remote down. The remote has a cord. It's not the best telescope, so the remote has a cord, and if I... Whoops. Dang it. And it gets Velcroed onto there. Oh, man. And now I bumped it. Okay. Not touching it. There we go. Sorry, guys. I'm horrible. So, yeah. There's actually some clouds, not clouds, but there's a haze in front of it. I'm kind of tempted to track a star. I'm pretty confident I could find one. Or we could look at Polaris. Sent you a PDF called Chronosphere, some people made based on, oh yeah, I'll have to check that out. Chronosphere. I wonder what that's all about. I think it's out of focus. I'm not gonna mess with it though. Except that I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. I think we're zoomed in too far. Yep, on time and date. View, the moon is hidden coming from due north. The time it rises in the southeast, sets in the northwest, proving a circular orbit. Oh, okay. There you go. Or circular circuit, like a circle, or I mean like a circuit. Yeah, we live under a clock, right? Or inside a clock. So my battery that I had, you know, like a whatever it's called, portable battery for my phone. I had it plugged in, and then I shut the whole power off to where I had it plugged in, so it wasn't charging. So we still got, I think we still got like half of the flashlight battery. Ooh. And the phone battery, so I could probably go another hour just the way I am. Okay, I'm almost ready to switch back to the other eyepiece. Seemed like it is a better shot. Like it's fun to zoom in like this, but we're switching back. Sorry guys. It's fun to zoom in, but I think it's just fun to see the whole thing too. So let's see here, I'll turn my light on again. And there we go. So there we are. Look how dusty it is. I need to clean that thing, man. So here's, we can see in that's like my spotting scope. Let's see if I can, where is it? There, that's my spotting scope, just so I can get it close, and then we get this on there. So let's put this on there. And actually, I'm gonna play with this a little bit even to get even a better shot than we did have before. So I just gotta put this in here and then move this in and out till we get a nice, it's like, oh yeah. Trevor, what's up? Good to see ya. Okay, that's not a very good shot yet. Okay, I gotta take it back out. Sorry, guys. I'm so glad you guys clicked it. Is that what I named it? Click me or something like that? Twist those buttons, push those knobs. Yep. You know what? I pushed the wrong thing. Okay. Okay. Now we should have a clear view now. Hey, Trevor says, thank you, Joe, for doing this. Guess what? I got to tell you this. Tomorrow night, I haven't really checked. I think it's tomorrow night, maybe about the same time. I screwed this thing up, you guys. I pushed the lens in further than it should have. Oh, man. I hope I might have to take that apart to fix it. Oh, maybe not. We'll get it working. Thank you for hitting the like button. That's awesome. And what else was I going to say? Okay, now we're getting it. Tomorrow night, there's an eclipse, and I plan on doing this exact thing with my iPhone. That's actually one of the reasons why I've been doing it for this week. I've done a few live streams. Now we got to focus it again, I think. And then maybe that's good. I'm probably going to leave it. I don't want to mess with it. But lunar eclipse tomorrow. And I'm just going to do the same thing with it, with the telescope. Track it. Flat Earth Nation says, hi, see the same. Oh, nice. P1000. Trevor's getting some star trails tonight. So here's, without the remote, here's me doing it just by hand. Not bad, huh? It's more accurate with the remote. And now watch, you'll see it settle. It just almost settle back to where it was. If you do it with the remote, it actually stays there. See how it's going to the left? Because I did it by hand. It's auto-focusing so much. On Ball Earth, shouldn't there be an eclipse every night we view the moon? I don't know. Not really, I guess. There's like a different ecliptic, I guess they say, for the moon, 5 degrees or something. But whatever, that's just what we view from the ground anyway, you know. It's the same. It's just they have an idea that they believe. Just like when I say that every one of us observes the earth stationary beneath our feet. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. But everyone has to add, but we know it's rotating. What do you think asteroids or shooting stars are? Demons? They're literally unclean spirits. That's what it says in the Testament of Solomon. It says that they can hear the sentences that go forth in heaven because they can fly up into the firmament or fly up to the firmament. But they don't have a place there, and they lose their strength and fall, and men think they're stars falling, and it says they'll fall and they'll set fire to fields and whatever. Like, I think it's talking about like meteorites or whatever, meteors, asteroids, maybe, whatever we call them these days. My phone is so bright where I have, the moon, that when I look up at this sky, I can barely see the stars. Do you guys want to try to track a star? Or not? Too cloudy here currently to film the moon. Yeah, hopefully you do got clear skies tomorrow. Yeah, I took a video, I'll upload it, of the ISS flying right over the moon at 9:40 tonight, right before I went live. Okay, Phil says, Phil 1476 says try it. So we're gonna, the moon is its own light. I agree, 100%. I mean, look how bright it is. Plus, if I had one of those temperature guns, you could aim at shadows and the light of the moon, and you get some weird results. Unexpected results, I'll tell you what. Okay. I don't know what star it is, but there's a star that's almost like, it's pretty far from the moon, but it's almost like straight up. And with that spotting scope thing, I think I'll be able to find it. So I'm going to zoom out. Okay, let's see here. Okay, here we go. You ready? I'm going to, let's see here. Is that the right one to do? Yeah, because actually the moon is going to get over to a tree pretty soon, and I'd have to move the scope. So we're going to look up, I think it's like an orangish colored star. I don't know, it could be Betelgeuse or Aldebaran or something. I don't know how to say them. Okay. Let me get the, wow. Wish me luck. It's really hard to find a star sometimes when you're looking on a camera. Do you know what I'm saying? I might have to pull the camera out and get it with with my, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to pull the camera off. Oh, thank you, Kimmy. Okay, we're gonna try for a star now. So I'm gonna go up, 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 up. We'll see how close we can get. I don't know if this will work or not, but we'll find one eventually here. Oh, there we go. I'm just looking through this other little like spotting scope that I have, but I can barely see it. Is that even the right star? It's gotta be. Okay, so I don't know how to find it, but except by, oh, there it is. Whoa, that was quick, huh? We'll zoom in on it too. I just had to kind of locate it. It's like hard to, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do that rest with the remote. Hopefully I can get the right direction. This is when it's easy to lose it. Like if I go the wrong direction. Which way am I going, up or down? Oh, I'm gonna lose it, I bet. Okay, let's try this. Going the other way. It should go across the screen here any second. I had it there and then, okay, so what I gotta do is I gotta wiggle it around again. Try to find it again. Where was it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So I have to go down. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me get her centered in there a little bit and then, see how it's kind of orange? That's what I like about the stars. They're all unique and different. Actually, look at that. There's two of them. There's a really dim one right at the center of the screen right now. See that? I'm gonna zoom in on that. See that little one? Look at that. I can't even see that with my eyes. Let me try to, whoops, wrong way. Okay, let's get that in the center. And let's check that one out. Did you see that little one? Because this is not the bright one. I can't even see this one with my naked eye. I don't know if I'm focused or not. It's not, but if I try to focus it, it's gonna probably move it off the screen. That's about the best I can get, I think. Yep. Faint star, yes. Almost looks like it's two. Oh, that's just going out of focus. Okay, let's get it back into focus, or as close as I can. Okay, because we're zoomed in pretty far. Because watch when I zoom out, look at that big star will be there. Right up there, right above it, I think. See that? Whoa, that's cool. I can't even see that star. I can't even see it. I'm looking for it. So let's see here. That was cool. So we're gonna go with this other one though now for fun. That was cool that we caught that. All right, this one we're zooming in and we'll focus as best we can and see what this one looks like. I should almost have the other eyepiece for this, but it's super hard to find them if you got that other eyepiece in because it's magnified so much. But we probably could switch to that. Okay, let's zoom in. I want to say that this is Beetlejuice or now it's probably grainy, but let me try to focus a little bit. I'm way magnified or way zoomed in. Okay, let's see here. Yep, that was the best it's gonna get focused, I think. There you go. That's about the best I can get it focused. Whatever that is, that's cool. Now, I almost want to show you Polaris because you can see the different colors. So let's go back out a little bit. Let's zoom back out so you can see how far away we are. Where's that other little star? I want to see if I can see that one again just for fun. Am I going the wrong way? Let's see here. I'm doing it by hand. Oh, I can barely see that faint one. See how it barely shows up? So let's see. Should I turn it around into Polaris? Yeah, let's do it. We'll be able to find it. Except that it's in the trees, dang it. Let me see. Yeah, Polaris is in the trees. Sorry. I don't feel like moving the scope. So we're just gonna go track that star for a while. We'll zoom in and track that just for fun. Just because usually I don't do that. Let me change the speed here a little bit. Whoa, not that fast. All right, zoom in. I want to say that it's either like Beetlejuice or it's, I think it might be Albaderine or something. I don't know how to say it. Let me try to focus it one more time. Watch what happens when I go out of focus. See, it shouldn't be doing that. I need to get my lens. My phone is not lined up on there very good. So let me see. Let me try something. Oh, we're probably gonna lose it if I mess with my phone. Well, there's that little one. Okay. That's about the best I can get it, I think. And yeah, I'm not. People want to critique. If you got a telescope and you put a video on your channel, people want to critique. You're out of focus. You're out of focus. I'm like, you know what? You show me your video where you're in focus. Okay. Like this is my iPhone, but if I get my camera on here, my handy cam, it's just crazy that the difference that the iPhone does not do. It does not show you the stars like the other camera does. Show it in relation to the moon. I really can't because it's like almost at my zenith or whatever. It's basically almost pointed straight up in the sky, and the moon is only at like 35 degrees or maybe 40 degrees. So there's that. Let me see if there's another. Most of the other stars are like in the trees. I'm kind of like just there's an opening to the south, and the moon is actually almost ready to go into the trees. And actually, there's some little bit of clouds moving in front of the moon. We're getting a little bit of. Hey, look at that thing! Looks like an angel now. But do you see how it went out of focus kind of on its own? There's a cloud in front of it. Higher, the star's higher. You know what we'll do? Let me zoom back out and we're gonna go back to the moon before it goes behind the tree. So that's zoomed out. And then let me grab the remote and I'll just go to speed 2 and then we'll go down. And so you'll kind of be able to get an idea of how far it is from the moon. It's quite a ways. Still going down, and we'll have to go a little bit to the left to go to the moon, but we'll be able to see the light from it, I think, as we're going down by it. I think. Should be about right here. I don't know. No, I'm still way too high. Still way too high. So yeah, it was a pretty big space between the two. Should be about there. Still too high. I think it's coming here. I think I gotta move to the left now. Let me see, where are we? Trying to look at the spotting scope without bumping it. Oh yeah, we're coming here. There we are. Not bad, huh? There's actually some cloud, like a little bit of moisture going in front of the moon. I don't know why it's fun to see that sometimes. See how we're focused on the moon and I didn't mess with the focus? So there's says something about that star. We were focused as well as we could be, I think. That's one thing about the stars too. If they're so whoa, I just knocked over that battery or that flashlight. Sorry about that. So think about that too. Like if the sun, I'm sorry, if the sun is 93 million miles away, like they say, and if the moon is only 238,000 miles away, you don't have to change the focus on your camera. You could like during an eclipse, the moon and the sun, like a solar eclipse, I mean. Obviously, the sun is in focus and the moon is in focus. Both of them are. Like, you know what I'm saying? The edges of them or whatever. So it's not focused perfectly though. It is a little bit off. I'm just playing. Let's see. I'm just gonna leave it. I don't want to touch it and keep bumping it. So, man, it's like a perfect night for this. I hope tomorrow night is like this, because if it is, it'd be great for that eclipse or whatever. Okay, let's see what we got. I was just gonna read something quick from one thing I thought of from Enoch. Okay, you know how we're all like saying, we've all believed a lie. We've all believed a lie, right? I do not see Orion's belt from here. I can't see much at all because there's trees pretty much surrounding me, except for just this opening where the moon and that one star were. Yeah, this is out of focus, isn't it? Let me mess with that. It's a little bit out of focus. See, every time I touch the remote, it shakes the whole thing around. Oh, much better, right? Oh, that's way better. Can you see it? I don't think I can see it. I can't really even see anything except for there's like I guess by the moon it's hard to see other stars because it's so bright right now. But we've been saying, okay, we believed a lie, right? That's what Enoch said. He said that last generation, they would believe a lie, and guess what it would be about? The stars. The whole world would believe a lie about, they would be in error about the stars. So I was going to read that. I was going to find it. I'm not even kidding. He prophesied that the last people would be confused about what the stars were doing. It's in Enoch chapter 80. And I think I'm at 71 there. Is that what that is? Let's see here. Yes. So, whoa. Whoa, what did I just see the word descend? Oh, cool. 4 quarters of the world. Quarters of the world. The 7 mountains, 7 rivers. Okay, where is 80? That's 72. Oh, I gotta go further. And the 4th quarter, named the north, is divided into 3 parts. The first of them is for the dwelling of men, and the second contains seas of water. This is in the north, it says. And the abysses and forests and rivers and darkness and clouds. And the third part contains the garden of righteousness. Is that the Garden of Eden? Let's see here. Oh, the Erythraean Sea. Yeah, I forgot about that. I think that's called Oceanus. In maybe another name for it is Oceanus, I think. And I think that's the land of promise, or that's by the land of promise, or whatever. Which I think is New Jerusalem or the Promised Land. Let's see. Oh, here's the names of the sun, and the names of the sun are the following: the first Orgerus, and the second Thomas. And the moon has 4 names. The first name is Asanja, or Sanya. The second Ebla, the third Benes, and the 4th Ere. Let's see here. Okay, it says, these are the 2 great luminaries. That's in Genesis. God made 2 great lights. So we know that it's a light. But it says, and these are 2 great luminaries. Their circumference is like the circumference of the heaven. And the size of the circumference of both is alike. That's why, that's what we see. That's what we observe. The sun, it's like they're running a race together. They're going on almost the same circuit. It says, in the circumference of the sun, there are 7 portions of light. Oh yeah, this is how the moon gets its light, you guys. I'm going to read this. I'm going to sit back down. I was standing up. I'm sitting back down. This will be good. This is the part I was actually looking for. Somehow I found it. Brr, it's getting cold out here, which is, I'll take it because otherwise it'd be mosquitoes. Okay. This says, by the way, this is, oh, yeah. This is chapter, I want to say 77. I think someone already told me that. Hey, Joe Dirt. All right. So it says, in the circumference of the sun, there are 7 portions of light which are added to it more than to the moon. Okay, 7 portions of light. It says, and in definite measures, it is transferred till the 7th portion of the sun is exhausted. And they set, sorry, I'm having a hard time reading with my light here. And they set and enter the portals of the west and make their revolution by the north and come forth through the eastern portals on the face of the heaven. And when the moon rises, 1/14th part appears in heaven, like her light, I think. It says 1/14th part appears in the heaven. The light becomes full in her. On the 14th day, she accomplishes her light. And 15 parts of light are transferred to her till the 15th day when her light is accomplished. That's today. That would be the moon, or maybe not today, but the full moon or whatever. What is the, I'm not saying that it would be the date I'm saying in the month, in the moon schedule or whatever. So it's 14 days. And it says, and 15 parts of the light are transferred to her till the 15th day when her light is accomplished according to the sign of the year, and she becomes 15 parts, and the moon grows by the addition of 14 parts. And in her waning, the moon decreases on the first day to 14 parts of her light. And so this is going to continue on each day until there's new moon again. So it does this every 28 days? 29 days, I guess. Let's read it. Let's keep reading it. It's kind of confusing, but it's interesting. Since we're looking right at it on the screen, that's kind of cool, you know? Let me just nudge this over a little bit. Whoops. Man, I can't even breathe on the thing. Okay. That's just kind of cool because we're reading about it and we're looking at it right now. I think there's a big smudge on the front of my telescope, I think. So sorry about not the best shot, but okay. It says, oh, excuse me. Okay. Verse 8 in chapter 77. And in her waning, the moon decreases on the first day to 14 parts of her light, on the second to 13 parts of her light, on the third to 12, on the fourth to 11, on the fifth to 10, on the sixth to 9, on the seventh to 8, on the eighth to 7, on the ninth to 6, on the 10th to 5, on the 11th to 4, on the 12th to 3, on the 13th to 2, on the 14th to the half of a seventh. And all her remaining light disappears wholly on the 15th. So on that 29th day, that's how we get the phases of the moon. On the 29th day, there's no moon, or it's new moon, but we can't see it because it's dark. It's basically black. It's like a black circle in the sky, but obviously we can't even see it. But then there's the new moon, and that starts that whole cycle over again. So she gets her 15 days of light or whatever from I don't know if it's from the sun. I don't know if it said that. It says transferred. In definite measures, it is transferred till the 7th portion of the sun is exhausted. So it's coming from the sun, but it's an energy transfer. And it's the light, it's like the moon charges itself off of the sun. It's not just reflecting. And I don't think it's reflecting necessarily at all, because I think they're both discs pointed down at the earth, like pointed towards the earth. So they wouldn't reflect sunlight off of each other. Like if you had an LED that was pointed at the floor, it's not going to shine on the other LEDs that are on the ceiling pointed at the floor. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really know that. So then it says, And in certain months, the month has 29 days and once 28. So as the year goes on, this whole schedule or this whole calendar or whatever has very precise things that have to take place in it for the calendar to continue on. So it says once 28. So certain months, the month has 29 days and once 28. And Uriel showed me another law. When light is transferred to the moon, and on which side it is transferred to her by the sun, because when it, I'm just going to stop there. When the moon phases, they go from one side of the moon to the other side of the moon. It's not like going, like in those 29 days, it goes from new moon, and then you see that little teeny sliver, and that'll be over on the right side of the moon, right? And then as the 29 days go by, now we're on like day 15 of it or whatever, or 14. And then now if you watch tomorrow night, the next night, you're going to watch the moon get less and less light, and it's going to happen. It's going to go across the moon for those 29 days. So it's like something's happening. Like it's gathering light, and as it wears off in the right direction. Do you know what I mean? The light that's transferred to it. But so this says, I'll read that again. Uriel showed me another law. Hey, Monica, good morning. When light is transferred to the moon and on which side it is transferred to her by the sun. So it's getting its light from the sun, but it's energy or it's charging itself. Or I don't know the right words to use, but it's not just like reflecting. I don't think it even can reflect, but it says during all the period during which the moon is growing in her light, she is transferring it to herself when opposite to the sun. During 14 days, I'm having trouble because my light is kind of dying here. During all the period during which the moon is growing in her light, she is transferring it to herself when opposite to the sun during 14 days. Her light is accomplished in the heaven. And when she is illuminated throughout, her light is accomplished full in the heaven. And on the first day, she is called the new moon. For on that day, the light rises upon her. She becomes full moon exactly on the day when the sun sets in the west. See, that's what happens. If you look today, when did you see the full moon? If you were outside, you saw it right as the sun set. That's when you saw it. Or maybe it's tomorrow that'll be exactly like that. But and then now we'll see it after. It's like 50 minutes or something each day that it goes back another 50 minutes and another 50 minutes in the sky. Like, so the sun is beating it in the race. The sun's going faster in that circuit. So the sun catches it again, it laps it every 29 days. And I think that has something to do with how the moon gets its light, is that it's actually almost like it's being charged by the sun. Not reflecting, but being like getting actual light from the sun. Okay, I'll continue here. It says, on the side, or wait, I missed a verse. Okay, she becomes full moon exactly on the day when the sun sets in the west, and from the east she rises at night, and the moon shines the whole night through till the sun rises over against her, and the moon is seen over against the sun. That is going to do that today. You're going to see that happen today. The moon will be up all night, and as soon as the moon hits the horizon, boom, sun comes up. It says, on the side whence the light of the moon comes forth, there again she wanes, till all the light vanishes and all the days of the month are at an end, and her circumference is empty, void of light. So that's going to be basically no moon or new moon, and you can't see it. It says, and 3 months she makes of 30 days, and at her time she makes 3 months of 29 days each, in which she accomplishes her waning in the first period of time and in the first portal for 177 days. And in the time of her going out, she appears for 3 months of 30 days each. And for 3 months, she appears of 29 each. At night, she appears like a man for 20 days each time. And by day, she appears like the heaven. And there's nothing else in her save her light. So that's about the moon. That's what's something that's said about the moon. And I got an awful shot right now. Sorry about that. Something is not lined up right here. We got to fix this. They'll change it. Yeah, something ain't right. It's like tweaked. Maybe if I just zoom in, it'll be better. There we go. So yeah, that was kind of cool. You know what? It's in the trees right now. Let me, it's gonna hit it has to be in the tree branch. Yeah, there's leaves right in front of it. I don't know how we're seeing it. Like, it's weird. You can't even see the leaves sometimes that are blocking. They're right in the way. They're right in the way. That's why it was looking kind of crappy. Let's see, I'll show you. I can't believe we can't see them leaves. That's crazy. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna show you what we're looking through. I'm pulling it out of the telescope. Whoops. We're looking right through leaves. See that? Because the telescope is down here. It's right there. I can't really get it to focus very well. That's YouTube for you. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go upload that video of the space station flying over the moon. And then I'm gonna do a live stream maybe tomorrow. And I wanna talk about I don't know what to even call it. I wanna talk about what I think is being, I don't know what the right words are, irresponsibly overlooked by the people who are actually have been shown vital truth, right? But they're almost like handling it wrong. They're making assumptions that something simple that's happening. Like they're thinking that somebody's lying to them. That's scary to me because the scriptures say that this time it's the devil, it's not even men, and it's all men that are deceived. So that group that so many people are calling like they're lying to you, that group is not men. That group is evil angels, and they can make themselves appear as men. So it makes me think of the astronauts. Zero G. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I do know that there's only been like 500 and something astronauts, right? That's interesting to me. Yeah, we got a terrible shot here now. So I think what we're gonna do is call it a stream. I can't believe my battery lasted this long. Thank you guys for hanging out. This was fun. And tomorrow night, I'm gonna plan on doing the same thing. Flat Earth Nation says, so your location and we are 500 miles apart. How does that experiment work? So with your location, what do you mean? With my location and we're 500 miles apart. Do you mean like where the moon would be, like its height or its, I guess its angle that it would be? Is that what you're saying? Or maybe I'm misunderstanding where you're going with that. I don't know. Or maybe you were talking to someone else too. Sorry guys, I'm gonna pull it out of there and pack up my stuff. There's the moon. Oh yeah, interesting. When we first started the stream, it was over at the center of your screen now, and it moved over there. That's because the Earth is stationary, and the moon is moving, and the sun is moving, and the stars are moving in their orbits and tasks, because they're actually luminaries. They're like angelic beings. I don't think we can really understand exactly what they are, but there's something. So there's what we should see when we are looking at a star. That's my telescope. This is a pretty nice little scope. Nice little scope. All right, guys. That's right, Blake. Earth is unmovable. It shall not be moved. It's stable, established, still, solid. And the only time it'll move is when God moves it to and fro, you know, when he shakes it. So you guys have a good night, and I'm going to end the stream. Thanks for hanging in.